So a lot of people want to know the best signals they can use for futures trading. In today's class, I'll be showing you one of the most powerful trading strategies that you can use to short cryptos on futures. All right. Now, if you've been losing money on futures, you need to listen to this to the end. All right. Because this is really going to help you a lot. And that is because it has actually helped me for the longest time. All right. So shorting on futures is a really good way to maximize your profit, and there are ways to do it. Now, of course, we're going to be using the EMA. I talked about it earlier today, but today I'll be talking about how to long how to short cryptos on futures. Earlier today, I was talking about how to long cryptos on futures and the strategy you can also use, which is the opposite of this. That video is in the description. So we're going to be using the 50 EMA, which is the yellow line, and a 20 EMA, which is the uh, blue line. So whenever you see the blue line crossing the yellow line, it means that there's a downtrend. But it is not enough reason for you to enter into a downtrend. All right, it's not enough reason for you to get into the trade. There are signs that you must look out for a perfect entry. Now, the number one sign is to find a red candlestick that has no bottom tick. A red candlestick that has no bottom tick. Now, of course, this is a very perfect sign that the blue line has crossed over the yellow line. Now we are looking for a red candlestick that has no bottom tick like this. This man here has no bottom tick, and that is why we find that the price started going down. Is a very strong indicator that we should enter a trade. All right. After the crossing, you look for a red candlestick that has no bottom tick, or a red candlestick whose top tick is very long and longer than at least the last three candles or the last two candles. You can see this is the first sign. I'm going to show you from here. So this is the first sign. This red candle has no bottom tick, which is a good indicator that we should enter this trade. This is the second sign that the red candlestick has a longer up tick, at least longer than the last two or the last three. All right. So if you find this, it's a good sign to enter. Now, even if you ignore this one, you would have entered from here because this guy has no bottom tick. Okay, even if you ignore this one, you'd have entered from here because this guy has no bottom tick. You can see there are several signs that would have entered this trade. This guy has no bottom tick also. All right, so we are looking out for a cross, which is this, and secondly, we're looking out for a red candlestick that has no bottom tick, or a red candlestick that has a very long upper tick, at least longer than the last two. This is an upper tick, and an upper tick simply means there is a lot of selling pressure. I'm going to show you what an upper tick means. This is an upper tick. An upper tick means there's a lot of selling pressure. The sellers are selling a lot. All right, so let's get straight to a live chart, and let me show you how this applies to live trading. Now, this is a trade for Ethereum, and of course, if you want to use this strategy, you must be using your EMA 20 and EMA 50. You can put the color as yellow and blue, just like I have done. Now, let's start trading futures. Futures means, of course, if you want to short on futures, that is what this video is about. People who want to short on futures. Now, the first sign is to check out for where the blue line is crossed over the yellow line, which is the first sign, but it is not enough reason to enter a trade. All right, because there are false signal. Now, I mentioned that after the cross, we are looking out for a red candlestick that has no bottom tick, which is this guy. This guy has no bottom tick, and this was a very good sign that we can enter the trade. Now, even if you ignore this guy, okay, we can go to look for another candlestick, okay, whose top tick is longer than the last two top ticks. So, which is a red candlestick. This guy's top tick, okay, this guy's top tick was longer than this one, and even this one. Another sign to have entered the trade. So would have entered the trade here and would have made a lot of profit, or like at this point. Now you can set your stop loss when or where you want. This particular video is not about stop loss. On a very good day, I will show you how to set your stop losses at very good point that can maximize the profit you are willing to take. Okay, now let's go straight to another sign. So we're looking for where would have entered a short sign, a short um entry. Now this was another point where the line crossed. You can see the line crossed here. This was a signal. This was another signal. But this strategy will help you identify false signal. A false signal is a signal like this that you are not going to enjoy anything and it's not even going down. It's just there to play with you. Now when you find out that it has crossed, there is no candle that has no bottom tick. You can see all of them has bottom ticks, and of course before you even get to this point you find out that it has already crossed over, so you'd have been safe from this particular sign, for this part from that particular signal. All right, so here I'm just going to delete this line because I used it to trade earlier. Okay, now this is another sign for futures that you should have entered from. This is where the cross started from. So after the cross, we are looking forward to a red candlestick that has the longest uptick. Okay, so this guy has a very long uptick just on the line of the cross. Okay, so this tick is obviously longer than this one and this one and this one. So you would have entered from here. Okay, I'm going to zoom in right now. I'm going to zoom in right now for those people who can't who want to see closely. Okay, so this was the cross. So this guy's top tick is longer than 1 2 3. It's a good sign to enter a short trade. Even if you disregard this guy, you will not disregard this one that has no bottom tick. I told you we're looking at for two signs. You can choose any of the signs when you find them. A red candlestick that has the longest top tick, at least longer than the last two, which is what we saw here. Or even if you disregard this guy, you find this guy that has no bottom tick would have entered a trade here or entered a trade here. All right, and of course you'd have enjoyed a lot of profit from this point. I know somebody will be asking, yeah, what if we entered here and our stop loss takes us out from here? Now there's one thing I want to tell you about stop loss, and that thing is that when you want to set your stop loss, you set your stop loss at a point where you have you set your stop loss at a point where you have the most resistance. All right, which is going to be at this area. All right, where you have the most resistance, so the price will not even get there and you would have enjoyed all of this whole profit and of course downturn. Now even if you disregard this sign, okay, you will not disregard this particular guy because he has no bottom tick, and you'd have even started to enjoy from here because you can see this guy has no bottom tick also. Okay, no bottom tick, so that is what you should be looking out for. There are many signs here that you would have entered into this short trade. Okay, so I'm going to go more. Now this is another sign here. Of course you can find a candle that has no bottom tick here. You can see this guy here has no bottom tick, would have entered from here. Okay, this was the cross, would have entered from here, and of course this particular signal did not last so much, but there would have been a little profit for us from 12125. I would have shot to around 1997, which was a good sign for us. All right, so this was another massive opportunity here. After you found the cross where the blue line crossed over the yellow line, look out for a red candle that has no bottom tick or a very long upper tick, longer than the last two. So here we would have seen that this guy was the perfect chance for us to enter. I'm going to show you. I'm going to zoom in. Okay, I'm going to zoom in. I think I'm going to zoom in here. This was a good sign for us to have entered. Okay, so this was a nice cross. We're looking out for a red candle that has no bottom tick. This guy has almost no bottom tick, but let us say we disregarded this sign. Okay, look out for another guy that has a very long up tick. At least you can see this particular one has a very long up tick. This guy has long up tick. This guy also has longer up tick. And of course, even if you disregarded these two guys, you will not disregard this guy that has no bottom tick. So you'd have entered this trade even at this point and you will still be profitable because this blue line remains under the yellow line, and that shows that we are on a downtrend already. All right, now where you set your take profit on futures depends on the kind of strategy that you are making use of. All right, So let's go across to other signs that would have entered into a trade. There are so many of them here, guys. There are so many of them that you can use, and I think you should actually, start putting them to practice, of course, so that you can enjoy many of these trades. So let's go here. So here, there's another sign here, and I think this was another point. Okay, this is the starting of the chart. We have already passed this. I've illustrated here. We're looking out for major down major downtrends. All right, major downtrends that you would have taken advantage of. So let me just go this way. Let me just go this way so you can see other major down. You can go check it out. This strategy works both for sport, futures trading, and all of that. So here's another opportunity that you would have entered. All right, and like I said, you are looking out for the first sign, which is this cross. Second sign, you're looking out for a red candle that has no bottom tick, or a red candle that has the longest up tick, at least longer than the past two. So I can find one here. So let me zoom into it and let's see just around this area. So this is the cross, and of course you can see the red candles here. From here, you start looking out for the one that has no bottom tick. This guy has no bottom tick and was a very good chance for us to enter into this trade. Okay, now apart from that, this guy has the longest upper tick, longer than the last two. Okay, so we would have entered here, and of course there will be a lot of goodies for us along that path. All right, so let's get straight to, let's do one more, and then I would have you'd have start calculating your profit. So this was another major sign here, but trust me, this sign is not good enough for you to enter because you just saw the cross. No, look out for a candlestick that has no bottom tick or the longest upper tick. This guy here has the longest upper tick. I'm going to zoom in. You can see a whole lot of profit you'd have made along this path from this fall. But let me just zoom in to show you something that you should check out for. After the cross, which is this, look out for the red candlestick that has the longest upper tick. This guy has the longest upper tick, longer than this one and this one. You can measure them, and you know this guy was a very good entry point that you would have entered. Okay, so let's go in more. Let's do one more. So guys, like I mentioned, just look out for red candles that has no bottom tick after the sign. After the sign, no bottom tick, or a red candle that has the longest upper tick. On another class, I will show you a lot about stop losses and how you can use stop losses. This was a very good, profitable, and sweet way to have entered into a futures trade. Let's check out for the signs. Remember, a candle that has no bottom tick, or a candle that has the longest upper tick. If you look closely, you find out that this was the sign. So let me zoom in. Let me zoom in into where we would have entered. Okay, so this was the sign we were looking for. No bottom tick. This guy has no bottom tick, and it was a very good opportunity for us to have entered. Okay, now apart from this guy, you can still find this guy. Apart from this guy, you can still find this guy. There are so many signs that are printing here that you can use. Okay, there are so many candlesticks that were printed here that you can use. This other guy has bottom tick, but his upper tick was higher than the last two, which was a very good sign to have entered into this trade. And of course, you'd have entered somewhere around this place. This guy was the first sign we saw, and of course there will be a lot of profit for you down to this level. All right, if you know how to set your stop loss very well. On another class, I'll show you a lot about stop losses, how to adjust your stop loss. Give the video a like if you want to see that class, so that you don't end up making profit, and of course your profit are taken away still by the same market. So yeah, you can use this to spot false signal. When there's a false signal, you will not find the bottom tick. Okay, yeah, that is how to jump away. So this will be the last example I'll be giving for today. Then I would just call it a day with you. This was a very good cross. Now, after you found it, a cross does not mean you should jump in. A cross simply means now start checking out for further red candles. If they have no bottom tick, you enter. If they have the longest, if the red candle has the longest top tick, you enter. So I'm going to zoom in, going to zoom in and show you the situation. So this was the entry point. This was the first sign. So no bottom tick. This guy was the first candle that has no bottom tick where we would have entered. But of course, as a smart trader, you must have entered earlier enough, maybe here, because this guy's topper tick was higher than these two. Even this guy's topper tick was higher than these two. All right. So even if you enter here and the price started going up, remember that the blue line is still under the yellow line, so we are on a downtrend. So there is no even need to take out your profit. Leave your as long as the blue line is still under the yellow line, we are on a downtrend, and of course we are still going to see a massive drop. Now of course, leave a like on this video if you understand what I've just said. Of course, leave a like on this video if you got value. And there are lots and lots more strategies that you can use to trade uptrends and downtrends. And of course, this particular one is for shorting on futures trade. I'll see you on another one, guys, tomorrow. And of course, do have a very wonderful